गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे,
गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे, गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे.
गाते ओवीचेही माय बोलीचे माहेर,
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर. संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमुचे वादळाचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला,
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा विरलेला.
सोन पहाट उदयाचे, गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा, शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला, समतेचा संगराचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला. विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे जीवनाचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे, गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे.
Thank you, Amol. You can stop the university song. So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's honorable guest, chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir, to this cloud meeting, a refresher course in teaching, learning and outcomes and education reforms being conducted by UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, through online platform. This refresher course will be for a duration of 2 weeks, 12 working days. So it is an honor and pleasure for all of us that one of the experienced faculty member from our university campus, uh, Dr. Praveen Vakte sir is coordinating this refresher course. Dr. Praveen Vakte sir, former Pro Vice Chancellor of our university, also former head Department of Chemical Technology of our university. Currently, he is heading and coordinating Santpit section of our university, a person with a vast teaching research experience, a person who has contributed a lot when it comes to pharmaceutical subject. He has headed the chemical technology department for more than a decade, and under his able leadership, the chemical technology department has started MTech courses also, BTech, MTech courses also. So it is an honor and pleasure for all of us to have him here as an course coordinator, and he will also will preside this inaugural session due to some medical emergency of our director ma'am. She is unable to connect to our cloud meeting. So Dr. Praveen Vakte sir will also be coordinating and presiding over this inaugural session. Our honorable guest, Professor Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir, Vice Chancellor of GH Raisoni University. Dr. Deshpande is accomplished academician and administrator. Currently, he is serving as a Vice Chancellor of GH Raisoni University in Amravati since August 2021. With 37 years of teaching experience, including 12 years as a professor, he possesses extensive knowledge in the field. In his administrative journey, Dr. Deshpande has a notable position including Pro Vice Chancellor and Pro Vice Chancellor officiating at RTMNU, Nagpur University, and acting Vice Chancellor at RTMNU University. He also led the Department of Business and Management, contributed to various statutory committees at RTM Nagpur University. Dr. Deshpande's commitment to research and academia is evident through his extensive publication research project and his involvement with UGC STRIDE program. As an educator and mentor, he has guided 32 research scholars to attend their PhD degrees. In addition to his academic role, he has served as an editor-in-chief of Arth Samvad and hold membership in academic association. His contribution as a reviewer and executive member of All India Economic Association highlight his dedication to the academic community. So indeed, it is a pleasure and honor for all of us to have him here as a chief guest for this inaugural session of refresher course in teaching, learning, outcome and education reform. So not taking much time, I would request Dr. Vinayak S. Deshpande sir to deliver an inaugural address to all of us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Rafe, for that exhaustive introduction of mine. Thank you so much. President of inaugural function, course coordinator, Dr. Praveen Sridhar Vakteji, Professor, Department of Chemical Technology, Assistant Director of UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Dr. Mohammad Abdul Rafe, all the participants of this refresher course, in absentia, Director of UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Professor Dhanashree Mahajan, all the faculty members from various colleges, institutes, universities. It is indeed my privilege to become the part of this outstanding and unique program. I'm just delighted to be here. Thank you Dr. Mohammad Abdul Rafe for having me for this inaugural session. Friends, the topic selected for this online refresher course in teacher learning outcome and education reform, I consider is absolutely relevant, significant, and important for 21st century teachers functioning in education system. Friends, when we talk about reforms in education, current education system, and the practices which we are following now with the advancement of national education policy, we had lot of accomplishments over the years. With all our difficulties, we have done some remarkable things. We retained the freedom of the country, we preserved the unity of India, and India remained united for more than 77 years, and we preserved our diversity and strong federalism and achieved modest economic progress. However, we experienced desperate crisis in education. That fact also cannot be denied. And therefore, nation's greatness is determined by average and not by best. That is what we have been experiencing over a period of time. And therefore, we have to redefine the role of teachers, role of students in the 21st century education system. Why we are stressing on this 21st century? The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is what is expected from the teachers, and as rightly pointed out by Alvin Toffler, that literacy is not related to what you can read and what you can write, but it is related to how you can learn, how you can unlearn, and how you can relearn. And therefore, 21st century capabilities where we need intellect, social connection, emotions, physical fitness, aesthetic. We have to think all these aspects in an integrated manner. And therefore, now we talk about interdisciplinary subjects in order to have the holistic development. And slowly we have been observing that the compartments of knowledge, it is disappearing. So what we need is knowledge, skill, and values. They are essential to acquire. At the same time, we have to develop the capacities of analytics, logical reasoning, critical and designing thinking, and that is how we can attach our knowledge to our soul. And that's why we have to think, rethink about how we can give the best to our students in this education system. Friends, the fact is that given the challenges we face, education does not need to be reformed, but it needs to be transformed. And therefore, the only person which we find educated is the one who learn how to learn and change. And education is about finding way to learn what makes you happy. And therefore, as we all are aware, lot of changes are being taken place in the education system. And education institute where we have been working over a period of time is not a place just where you study, but I consider that it's a place where we grow. And therefore, these education institutes are ultimately our own. But at the same time, we have to remember that in this 21st century, whether it is the game or the game of life, if we want victory or if we want success, we have to connect with people at all levels. And it need not be related to one particular branch. And when we talk about holistic development, we expect that we should establish connections with all the people, teachers, researchers working in different branches. And therefore, we have to network, connect, and have interpersonal relationship with everybody. That is what is expected in the 21st century. So, friends, when you find that changes are taking place in the education system, and of course, we have to keep track on the technological development also, which is taking place at a very, very fast level, and there is revolution in technology. And therefore, when we talk about 21st century phenomena, it is opportunities to upscale our expertise and skills through webinars like this, then MOOCs courses, LMS lectures, collaborative learning. These are the matters which are important in today's situation. And therefore, digital literacy is one of the key word everybody talks about. Mind being blended as blind slate, we have to find out how we can have the universal grammar relating to this, how we can have interaction in our mind, how we will be able to communicate it in an effective manner. And learning, it is not just paying attention, but it is interaction in mind. And therefore, we need to find out the new ways of assessment also, where you will be learning about learning outcomes and other intricacies involved now in the process of new learning, how it is becoming learning centric. That also we have to find out. So teachers has to be a facilitator, and that and his job is to create productive of class environment so that people would be able to pay attention in the best possible manner. So employability skills, digital teaching, writing blogs, that is what nowadays we find that researchers are involved in. And the idea is that students should become creative. So teachers, they are no longer as knowledge transformers, but they should be able to engage, they should be able to demonstrate, learn, express their curiosity to learn. And therefore, we have to inculcate reading practice amongst the students, and teachers also, I would say, they should focus their attention on how we can learn in the process. Unfortunately, we find that printed world is receding, and because of the availability of technology, we are relying more and more on whatever is available online, and therefore that is also worrisome aspect, that how we can have the interaction in the libraries, how libraries can be made useful to the readers, to the students, to the teachers. And therefore, I remember Gulzar's couplet relating to how the libraries, books, reading habits, it is receding. What Gulzar ji says, किताबें झांकती है बंद अलमारी के शीशों से, किताबें झांकती है बंद अलमारी के शीशों से, बड़ी हसरत से तकती है, महीनों अब मुलाकातें नहीं होती। जो शामें उनकी सोहबत में कटा करती थी, अब अक्सर गुजर जाती है कंप्यूटर के पर्दों पर। बड़ी बेचैन रहती है किताबें, किताबें मांगने, गिरने, उठाने के बहाने जो रिश्ते बनते थे उनका क्या होगा, और शायद अब नहीं होंगे। And therefore, friends, I believe that if at all we want to achieve creativity, imagination in the education system, we need that we should read, we should go to the libraries, and we should not just rely on the digital technology. Friends, science and technology aid the production of knowledge. Technology is concerned with its use. Technology claims to improve our lives, and we all know that the product of science is technology. They serve as agent of social and economic changes and also the recipient of changes. And therefore, we all are well aware about the fact that technology offers convenience, it offers pleasure, happiness, connectivity, communication, and this is an enhancement of our capabilities. No technology is harmful and no technology is a problem. But through this inaugural address, I will try to suggest that when human mind is in a certain level of destructive mode, every technology is harmful. And why we are talking about holistic development? Because science teach us how to build things. Sciences teach us how to build things. It's the humanities that teach us what to build and why to build them. And therefore, the humanities give us the context of our world. They teach us how to think critically, and therefore, the worrisome fact is science and humanities not talking to each other, not at least in same language, and therefore, currently the technology is causing a lot of issues like escapism, social behavior, cybercrime, especially addiction to gambling, and all these kinds of problems which we have been witnessing over a period of time. So we all are aware that the first thing we do when we wake up, look at our phones. Nothing wrong in that, but I feel that the investments we are making in technology, almost equal amount of investment is to be made in developing the consciousness. At what level you should use the technology, up to what level you should make use of technology, and therefore what is important to know is that artificial intelligence and all these kinds of changes which are taking place, chat gpt, that may hamper the creativity, and therefore up to what level we must rely on these technology, that also we have to think about it. And therefore I feel that the investments in building that consciousness is equally important, and then only we will be able to make use of the changing technology, the changes which are taking place in the technology, that we would be able to accept in the best possible manner. Friends, as we all know that artificial intelligence, this is considered to be the third revolutionary development. Around 1896, we know that dynamite invented, and Alfred Nobel's, that was the first sport, we can say. 1945 Manhattan Project, where we find that lot of changes occurred, and that was the another great revolutionary movement. And third is of course Dr. Jeffrey Hinton's artificial intelligence. So the key is making human beings more conscious about how they function. So when technology starts doing most of the things that you are doing and you don't know why you exist, then the need for well-being becomes super strong. Friends, robot becomes dangerous when they have self-awareness. At the moment, they don't have self-awareness, and therefore things are going on easily. But we have to invest in consciousness as much as technology, where humanity can preserve. So technology and growth have made us vulnerable to serious hazards like ecological disorders, climate change, diseases, and we always talk about five kinds of negative growth. Jobless growth, where we all are aware now that due to artificial intelligence, where even you don't require drivers. So it is going to be jobless, ruthless, voiceless, rootless, futureless, and therefore we have to address these issues while learning all the modern technologies, but at the same time we have to keep that kind of consciousness that if we make use of it beyond a certain limit, then that can prove to be dangerous. And therefore, we want that everything should be in balance, where emotions should also take important place. At the same time, we want technological development also. Unfortunate part is that we want that people should not remain ignorance, because ignorance leads to arrogance. And to avoid that arrogance, we want that people should have awareness of all these things. But we have to ask the questions: should we let students use chat GPT beyond a certain limit? And goal of education, when we talk about, help our students learn how to think critically and problem solve. Our students need to be trained how to interact with the world around him, and therefore we need all these kinds of things simultaneously without disturbing core competency of India, where we believe Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and where we want that everybody should make progress and it should not lead unnecessarily inequalities due to the technologies. And therefore all these kinds of aspects need to be discussed, where students should become the part of the whole process of discussion. Then only there is a possibility of developing creativity. Friends, lot many things can be discussed, but I appreciate the efforts made by UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center for arranging this program and covering lot of aspects relating to the online refresher course, that is teacher learning outcome and education reform. And I am confident that with these kind of training program, teachers, they would be able to get lot many inputs relating to the changes which are taking place in the education system, and there is going to be absolute value addition by attending this program. I feel very happy, and I feel that all the teachers attending this program, they should derive the maximum benefit of this program. I'm just delighted to declare that this online refresher course in teacher learning outcome and education reform is inaugurated. Thank you so much for inviting me to deliver this inaugural address. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I'm really thankful, grateful, and thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir for sparing his valuable time and setting the tone of this event through his inaugural address. I would now request another senior faculty member, Professor Praveen Vakte sir, to deliver a presidential remark to this inaugural session.
Thank you, Rafi sir. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to all the delegates, those who are present, and those who are attending this refresher course in teacher learning outcome and education reforms. But before starting the entire business of this refresher course, let me take an opportunity on behalf of the director of our Malviya Teachers Training Center, Professor Mahajan, and our earlier director, Professor Satish Patil sir, for equally giving me an opportunity to be the course coordinator for this. And on behalf of both of them, I welcome Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir, who is Honorable Vice Chancellor at GH Rai Soni Amravati. But before that, as I know Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir as a very learned economist and who has shaped the society through his outcomes in the field of economics. I welcome sir for this today's inaugural function. And apart from that, I am also really happy that your contribution towards the teacher learning outcome and education reforms and the views which you will be putting even further in this program would be really an added advantage to all the teachers, those who have enrolled themselves for this refresher course. Along with Professor Rafe, myself as a coordinator of this program, we have put up our due efforts to design this program. So, as Professor Deshpande recently said, and he tried to touch up all the areas in which we have designed this refresher program, and the core thematic topics which we have decided are in the outline of what are the expectations of Professor Deshpande from this refresher course, from the Malviya Center, as well as from expectations from the teachers, those who have enrolled themselves for this refresher course. As Sir very aptly said, that redefining the role of teachers in 21st century education system is the need of the hour, and exploring the shift from content delivery to mentorship and to the facilitation, I think really it is very important. And we have designed the program in such a way where just understanding the learning outcomes like concept formulation and assessment means how to design the measurable and meaningful learning outcomes. It is not only be will be the only expectation, but at the same time outcome based education is also very important. And we have tried to see that all the delegates, those who are present over here, they try to understand the principles and implement it in higher education regarding the curricular mapping of the program outcomes or the course outcomes. So one needs to take care of this. And apart from that, we have tried to see that we need to align the strategies during our teaching so as the learning outcomes should be measurable. And apart from that, innovative technology, which as Deshpande sir said, it needs to be some pedagogical innovative technologies need to be implemented so that active learning or the flipped classrooms or the blended learning and project based learning needs to be taken care in the coming days, which is the changing face of the teaching, which conventionally was being done by us as the teachers. I think technology enhanced learning and the future of the digital classrooms is also an area where we really need to focus. And we have tried to see that these things are included in this refresher course, which will help in the continuous professional development for the teachers in the higher education. Friends, It is not the only role of this refresher course to understand the pedagogical innovation and technology related to the core thematic topics, but we also intend to understand, as Professor Deshpande said, that just having the knowledge is not enough, but how to implement it. Only knowledge and information will not be enough, but we really need to have a wisdom to implement the knowledge and information. We have tried to include some policy, ethics, and inclusivity in this program, where we would be trying to see that NEP 2020 and its implementation related to the teaching and learning outcomes will also be an area. Apart from ethics in teaching and evaluating students, and inclusive and equitable education addressing diversity in classrooms also need to be focused in this program. Interdisciplinary approach to the higher education across boundaries, or the teaching across boundaries, or breaking the silos between disciplines to enhance learning relevance also will be addressed in this program. Apart from that, we have also seen that monitoring and institutional practices which are being held at the various accreditation agencies, or the role of IQSA, NAC, and UGC in ensuring learning effectiveness will also be focused in these coming days. Whereas faculty appraisals and student feedback is a tool to enhance effective or the teaching effectiveness will also be focused in this program. Now, the learning centric and cognitive development approaches, apart from the skill development and career oriented education, and global and comparative perspective related to the best practices, that is global best practices in teaching and learning outcomes, and where we would be trying to see that we will focus insights from well-known education hubs like Finland, Singapore, and UK, and other innovative education models, so that to bring it to the global level, the best practices in teaching and learning outcomes. Apart from that, internationalization of higher education, what are the opportunities and challenges in this, will also be focused in the coming days in this program. So that this is what we have planned. I hope Professor Deshpande would be happy that the points which we are going to focus in the coming days, that is from 11th of August to 26th of August, in this refresher course in the teaching, learning outcomes, and education reforms, we will be focusing all these points. I would like to also address to the delegates or the members, those who have enrolled for this refresher course, that we have designed this week's timetable. I think Professor Rafe sir will also be circulating the same to you. But I'm really happy that the first week is um, with a galaxy of star speakers, those who are going to really enlighten us through their knowledge, content, and really helping us to understand the education reforms as well as the learning outcomes. Today, we are having Honorable Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir, who will also be conducting the session next to this. Apart from that, in the afternoon session, I think we are going to have Dr. R.G. Kothari sir from the Maharaj Sayajirao University of Baroda, that is from Vadodara. He will be conducting the afternoon session. As well as tomorrow morning, we are going to have Professor Madhuri Deshpande ma'am, who is professor at School of Commerce and Management Science at SRTM University Nanded. And in the afternoon, we have Dr. R.T. Bedre, who is director of UGC MMTTC, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalay Sagar. Apart from that, we have former professor Dr. Ramesh Pandav sir, who is an eminent environmental scientist and who has worked in the water conservation. Apart from that, we have Dr. Biju K from the Department of Education, Central University of Tamil Nadu, and Dr. Anuja Brahma, who is from Seth Hirachand Mutha College of Arts, Commerce, Kalyan West, Mumbai, and Dr. Ram Krishna Bhise from SIS Graduate School of Technology, Nerul, Navi Mumbai. On the Saturday, we would be having Dr. Nidhi Arora from the Department of Legal Studies, Banisthali Vidyapit, New Gautam Buddha, Tonk University, Rajasthan. And post to that, on Saturday afternoon, we have arranged some of the MOOC courses for you. So this is the preliminary schedule for the week to start with. And once again, on behalf of the director, Dr. Dhaneshri Mahajan ma'am, and myself as the coordinator for this program, I am really thankful to Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir for being chief guest for this inaugural function, and I am also thankful to Dr. Rafe for very well coordination of this inaugural function, as well as for the coordination of the entire refresher course, which will be held in MMTTC from 11th of August to 26th of August. I expect a happy, I won't say stay, but happy online sessions to all the members of the refresher course. And once again, thanking Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir for
Thank
being
you.
present
Thank
for
you.
this inaugural session. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. So before concluding, if there are any one or two questions to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, participants can unmute and tell. If there are no questions, we can end this session. If there are any questions, queries related to this, the topic teaching, learning outcomes and education reform, किसी के कोई प्रश्न है, आप पूछ सकते हो प्रश्न ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सर से. अगर आपके प्रश्न नहीं है तो फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. पार्टिसिपेंट्स के कोई सवाल है?
Can I ask one thing?
यस यस.
This may be a contradictory question, but sir, in this modern technology, everything is available online and all these things. On a single click, we can get everything regarding our field or our knowledge. So, what will be the role of our teachers or professors in this learning system in future in the world of AI?
I think absolutely relevant and a significant question which everybody's mind probably is with this kind of issue. What I consider and how I look at this artificial intelligence and all. Friends, when we talk about the artificial intelligence and the human beings, basically, as I was trying to give you some hint, that these technologies, they don't have emotions. And when we interact with students, it is not just the sharing of the knowledge, as rightly pointed out by you, that everything is available. But unless you come in contact with the individuals, and when we share some of the aspects, then that gives you something in addition to what we consider as sharing of knowledge. It is not just the sharing of knowledge, but it is, as I said in the beginning, connectivity of people. And then by analyzing the response which you get from the individuals, probably you would be able to get some ideas that how you can develop your own field. Artificial intelligence or ChatGPT will give you the answers to the questions which you will be asking. But when we interact with people in physical mode, there you find that expressions of the individuals, how they react, how they actually try to find out our own problem by involving themselves. So it's not the third party which is looking at your problem and at your issues, but individual becomes the part of the whole problem. And this is what is expected when you talk about the human beings. And therefore, I feel that artificial intelligence, technological development, we must welcome. But at the same time, we should try the kind of consciousness which needs to be developed to make use of this technology. So job of the teachers is to show to the students that up to what level they should get involved in this whole process. Otherwise, the kind of problems which society is facing, that also we are experiencing. So many students committing suicide because of different kinds of games, digital games which are available. So that things are not expected from this technology. And friend, technology is basically developed during the war period. And if we want peace in the society, we need technology, but not for fighting war. We need technology to make our life easy. And for that, it should be used as a means and not as an end. End is something different. End is to have the better life. End is to have the relations with the individuals. And that is possible in this particular human beings when they interact with each other. And that's why I look at the technology from that point of view, that what will happen to the emotions. And those emotions, unfortunately, as you have rightly pointed out, youngsters, like I may give you the example. We used to read books written by Sane Guruji, then Prakya Atre's Shamchi Ai. And after reading Shamchi Ai and all these kinds of books, we used to become emotional. But that kind of emotions slowly are vanishing, and I consider that that could be the dangerous path. And therefore, we have to invest in that kind of consciousness. Up to what level you should make use of technology, that itself is a challenging task. And therefore, I feel that we have to think about it seriously, and then only we can make use of this technology. Like in Marathi we say ki sadbhav, karuna, samata, samvedanshilta. This is all what you call as values, human values. So these human values should remain intact in the process of technology. This is what is expected, and then only some kind of balance can be established. म्हणजे आपण दिवा लावतो तो दिवा पण जळत राहायला पाहिजे, हवा पण यायला पाहिजे. How to establish balance itself is a challenge. And this is what I feel when we learn, and we have actually technological revolution beyond a certain limit. But how to make use of it in the best possible manner, it all depends on us. It all depends on individuals. This is what I feel. Thank you.
Any more questions, participants? Any questions from the side of participants? सहभागी मित्रों की कोई प्रश्न है तो वो पूछ सकते हैं. Yes, roll number 28, you have unmuted. Any question from your side?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Good morning,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Sir, you have
Good
told
morning.
that in this 21st century, we are in the era of digital education. But sir, if we see and observe, it is seen that due to this digitalization of education, we get the quantity of education, but quality of education somehow degrades if we see, because working in B.Ed college, up till now, the students come, they have all the content knowledge. But now I see, as I'm a English methodology teacher, they don't know at very primary things in English. They can't speak, they can't read, they can't write properly. But what we should do in this sense, sir?
Actually, what is happening in the current situation, because I have been observing over a period of time, and as rightly pointed out by you, in spite of this technological development, we find that the way we want that our students should develop, that we are not in a position to get success from that point of view. Of course, quantitatively we find that education sector is developing. Challenge is of course that the problem which I feel is that artificial intelligence and development of computers and computers have started thinking like human being is not a problem. The problem is human beings, they have started believing like computers, and that is the challenge. Computers, they are behaving like human being is all right, but ultimately human beings have to see to it that how they can remain as human being. Because the problem is everybody feels that why should we listen to this fellow when everything is available on the digital world on the computers. And students, their approach is not to bother what teachers are telling us. Therefore, I've been talking about that how you can create that kind of interest among students that they should be able to listen to you, and you are different than the kind of knowledge, the kind of information available on the computers. And that only can be done if we get emotionally connected with the students. What is happening? Everybody, teachers, students, they feel that everything is available on the computers. So why, what additional things we can give them? Unless we interact, unless we have group discussions, unless we have regular interaction with the students. Now the teaching in classroom, that slowly we find that it is receding, and students are also many a times they are not attending the lectures the way we want them to attend. And of course this is going to be the biggest challenge, but we have to find out some alternative ways of creating interest amongst the students. And we have to show that all the kind of information which you get from the internet, from the different kinds of sources, teacher still is most important source for giving you the knowledge, because there you have the emotional commitments, and those commitments you won't find in the technology. And that's why I feel that when we talk about investing in that kind of consciousness, we have to see that all we have been experiencing, it has taken particularly mobiles and other kinds of technologies, it has taken over morning and rest of the day. And social media, I feel, makes us unsocial. And therefore we have to teach them that this kind of technology will not make you social. On the contrary, your connectivity is deteriorating. I just ask myself, can we walk away for an hour? We become panic if we forget to bring our mobile with us. So we turn our car around just to get our phone, and we feel so uncomfortable. And therefore, in many countries now they have started using no texting and driving, because texting while driving is the number one car deaths, more than drinking and driving. And therefore we feel that we are constantly connected but constantly distracted, and this distraction is creating hurdles in learning whatever the teachers are teaching to students. And therefore we hardly try to get on the social media, or the way we send the messages, we want that immediately somebody should reply, and somebody should say that I like your whatever the post you are making. And therefore that itself is creating a problem. So we are trying to figure out how we will get likes, and we are least bothered that how we are getting additional value addition in terms of knowledge, in terms of information, communicated in a very sharp manner to our students, those who are learning. And even for parents also we have to create awareness. 21st century challenges, it's not relating to the marks, Parents should not feel happy if students are scoring marks, because that is the secondary aspect now. What is important is outcome, as rightly pointed out by our sir, XY Pro Vice Chancellor, that how that aspect is important. And therefore, it's not just the marks, it is the outcome that would matter. And therefore, in order to have the proper outcome, we have to see constantly that what kind of value addition we are making, which computers and technology will not be in a position to do. And therefore, as I said earlier, that you have to develop that kind of reading habits now. Go back to the books, go back to the good novels, and that we have to communicate to the students that what are the reading material, good reading material which is available, and that will change the life of our youngsters. Otherwise, it would be difficult to face the consequences of the kind of technological development which is taking place. We all are not against technology at all, but we have to see how this technology can be used in the best possible manner to deliver to the students whatever good things we want to show them. That is possible only by developing some kind of games, some kind of case studies, which normally you don't find in your computers. So teachers also were to learn that
I think sir got disconnected. We will just wait for a minute. Any more questions or queries from the participant side?
Rafe sir, I think
Yeah.
he will be joining very soon.
No, he's there, sir.
He is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
If
here.
any more questions from the
No issue.
participant?
No issue.
Okay. So thank you.
Any more questions? किसी के कोई प्रश्न सवाल है? Yes, roll number 43.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार नमस्कार.
फार महत्वाचा आपण प्रश्न. मी डॉक्टर श्यामल गरुड, मुंबई विद्यापीठात मराठी विभागात आहे. भाषेच्या संदर्भातला की आपण फारच म्हणजे सोशल मीडिया आणि सोशल कुठेतरी विद्यार्थ्यांना करतोय आणि कुठेतरी नवीन शैक्षणिक धोरणामध्ये भाषेवर फार कारण की कंटेंट असल्याशिवाय काहीच येणार नाहीये कुठे. पण हे सगळं होत असताना विद्यार्थ्यांच्या हातातला जो काही सोशल मीडिया
Absolutely.
जे त्यांचा काही मेंदू बनवतो आहे आणि जे काही संपूर्ण एक सामाजिक सांस्कृतिक म्हणजे सगळं सरमिसळ सुरू आहे, या सगळ्या परिघामध्ये भाषेच्या वर फार मोठा तणाव आलेला आहे. आणि पहिल्याच सेशनला तुम्ही फार महत्वाचे म्हणजे विधानं करून आम्हाला मोकळं गेलंय, कारण की भाषेवरचा हा तणाव आता येत्या काळामध्ये अधिक वाढणार आहे. त्यामुळे मी मनापासून मी आपले आभार मानते आणि मला वाटतं की इथेही भाषेच्या संदर्भात वेगवेगळ्या पद्धतीने चर्चा होईल. खूप खूप धन्यवाद देशपांडे सर.
ऍब्सोल्युटली. आणि भाषेसाठी तर विशेष प्रयत्न करण्याची गरज आहे असं मी मानतो. विशेष करून आजकाल मराठी भाषा किंवा आपली जी भाषा आहे, स्थानिक भाषा, ती बोलली की आपण काहीतरी कमी आहोत, हे जे विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये जाणवतं ते देखील आपल्याला दूर करणं फार गरजेचं आहे. आणि त्याच्यामुळे एक प्रकारचा त्याच्यावर देखील आपण अगदी योग्य म्हणला. आणि मी तर नेहमी म्हणतो की भाषा हे शेवटी माध्यम आहे. आता ते माध्यम आपल्याला किती शक्तिशाली करता येईल, खरं तर ते व्हायला पाहिजे. पण झालंय असं की सगळ्या आपल्या ज्या काही उत्पन्न प्राप्तीच्या ज्या काही साधनं आहेत त्याच्याकरता भाषा ही इंग्रजीच झालेली आहे. आणि त्यामुळे ज्या पद्धतीने आपली मराठी ही त्याकरता जर वापरल्या गेली किंवा कोणती पण इतर भाषा, तर कदाचित हा प्रश्न सुटू शकेल आणि खरोखर जाणीवपूर्वक प्रयत्न करणं त्या दृष्टीने फार गरजेचं आहे. खूपच म्हणजे इंग्रजी भाषेला आपण किती महत्त्व द्यायचं? समजा त्याला येत नसेल, अर्थात त्यांनी शिकणं हे फार गरजेचं आहे. पण मला एकच सारखं जाणवतं ह्या सगळ्या शैक्षणिक क्षेत्रामध्ये वावरताना, की त्याला एक प्रकारचा न्यूनगंड निर्माण होतो आणि तो होऊ नये म्हणून शिक्षकाची जबाबदारी फार महत्त्वाची आहे. आणि म्हणून त्या दृष्टीने भाषा ही आपल्याला जाणीवपूर्वक ही त्याला सांगावी लागेल, की "बुवा तुला इंग्रजी येत नाही, तर तू त्याच्यामुळे तुझे ज्या काही बाकी क्वालिटीज आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे त्याच्यावर परिणाम व्हायला नको." हे आपल्याला कळवावं लागेल त्याला. आणि म्हणून मी सारखा म्हणतोय, की आपल्याला त्या कॉन्शियसनेसमध्ये, त्या जाणीवांमध्ये, त्या एकंदरीतच त्याला जे वाटणारं फिलिंग आहे, त्याच्या ज्या भावना आहेत, त्या भावना तशा राहाव्या, त्याला तो संवेदनशील व्हावा, याकरता देखील आपल्याला गुंतवणूक करणं गरजेचं आहे. दुर्भाग्याने टेक्नॉलॉजिकल डेव्हलपमेंटमध्ये ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी या बाजूला सारल्या गेल्या आणि त्यामुळे त्याचा नेमकी वापर कसा व्हावा हे लोकांना लक्षातच आलं नाही. टेक्नॉलॉजिकली खूप आपण साऊंड झालो, पण हाऊ टू मेक यूज ऑफ इट इन द बेस्ट पॉसिबल इफेक्टिव्ह आणि केअरफुल मॅनर, दॅट प्रॉबेबली वी आर नॉट पेड इनफ अटेन्शन. असं मला सारखं जाणवतं या क्षेत्रामध्ये काम करताना.
धन्यवाद सर.
सर एक विचारायचं होतं. आता भाषेचा विषय मॅडमनी काढला म्हणून सर एक गोष्ट विचारतो.
हो.
तर मोस्ट ऑफ दी ज्या कंट्रीज आहेत त्या डेव्हलप कंट्री आहेत, फॉर एक्झाम्पल जपान, जर्मनी, या देशांमध्ये त्यांची भाषा सोडून शिक्षण नाही दिलं जात. आपणच त्याच्यामध्ये शिकतो. मग आपण आपल्या देशामध्ये इंग्रजी शाळांना एवढं महत्व देऊन मराठी शाळा बंद पडायच्या मार्गावर का आणल्या? ज्यामुळे ज्याच्यामध्ये मराठीमध्ये जर मातृभाषेमध्ये जर तुम्ही शिकला, म्हणजे कोणतीही भाषा, आपल्याकडे तर इतक्या साऱ्या आहेत, तर मग आपण त्यांना का नाही हे केलं आणि पहिल्यापासूनच आपण ही पॉलिसी का नाही बनवली?
माझा अनुभव सांगतो सर मी. मी गेलो होतो नेदरलँड्सला. तर नेदरलँड्सला काय होतं, त्यांचं डच लिटरेचर इतकं पॉवरफुल आहे आणि इतकं मोठ्या प्रमाणावर उपलब्ध आहे, की त्या लोकांना डच शिवाय व्यवहार करणं कदाचित शक्य होत नाही आणि त्या डचमध्येच सगळे व्यवहार चालतात. कारण ती एक समृद्ध भाषा त्यांनी करून ठेवली. आपल्याकडचा मुळात प्रॉब्लेम असा झाला, की आपल्याकडे भाषा खूप साऱ्या उपलब्ध आणि चांगल्या भाषा उपलब्ध झाल्यात. पण आपण त्या भाषांना आपल्या व्यवहाराच्या दृष्टीने, ट्रान्झॅक्शन्सच्या दृष्टीने त्याचा वापर कधीच केला नाही. तो आपण कसा केला, की साहित्यिक ती भाषा वापरतात. ती भाषा म्हणजे साहित्यिकांची भाषा आहे आणि त्या दृष्टीने त्यांनी कथा, कादंबऱ्या त्याच्यातनं त्या येतात. पण मगाशी जसं मी म्हटलं, की भाषेच्या माध्यमांनी तुम्हाला जॉब मिळू शकतात, तुम्हाला रोजगार प्राप्त करू शकतो, ह्या दृष्टीने आपण विचारच केला नाही. आपली रोजगाराची भाषा ही इंग्रजीच राहिली. म्हणजे आपले इंटरव्ह्यू सगळे हे इंग्रजीत होतात आणि इंग्रजीत इंटरव्ह्यू झाल्यानंतर त्याला विचारले जातात जे काही प्रश्न, तर त्यामुळे त्याला इंग्रजी येत नाही, म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये बाकीच्या काही कपॅसिटीज असू शकतात, याचा विचार देखील होत नाही. त्यामुळे मी प्रकर्षाने म्हणतो, की जेव्हा आपण भाषेला सांगतो, की मराठीला महत्त्व द्यायला पाहिजे, पण त्याचबरोबर आपण किती जाणीवपूर्वक त्याला रोजगाराची भाषा केली किंवा किती जाणीवपूर्वक आपण त्याची व्यवहाराची भाषा केली. सगळे व्यवहार हे आपली इतर भाषेमध्ये चालतात. आपण जे उदाहरण दिलं जपान म्हणा किंवा बहुतांश युरोपियन राष्ट्र, त्यांच्या भाषा ह्या अतिशय पॉवरफुल झाल्यात आणि लायब्ररीज जर त्यांच्या बघितल्या तर डच लिटरेचर इतकं मोठ्या प्रमाणावर उपलब्ध आहे. त्याच्या टेक्नॉलॉजी सुद्धा त्या भाषेमध्ये आहे. दुर्भाग्याने आपल्याकडे त्या दृष्टीने लक्ष दिलं गेलं नाही, की या भाषेमध्ये इतर सगळे विषय येऊ शकतात. म्हणून आता आपल्याला अडचण जाते, की अभियांत्रिकी शाखेमध्ये मराठी भाषा कशी आणायची आणि ते अधिक क्लिष्ट होईल. मग सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंगमध्ये कसं आणायचं आणि मेकॅनिकलमध्ये कसं आणायचं, हे एक मोठं आव्हान आपल्या पुढे आलं. आम्ही प्रयत्न केला ह्युमॅनिटीजमध्ये काही प्रमाणात आणण्याचा. मी स्वतः बरेच पुस्तकं मराठीमध्ये लिहिले. पण शेवटी प्रश्न हाच निर्माण होतो, की हे सगळं करून सुद्धा व्यावहारिक भाषा आणि एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशनची भाषा ही इंग्रजीच राहिली. ती दूर जायला आपल्याला हळूहळू कसोशीने प्रयत्न करावे लागतील. आपल्याकडचे भाषेचे जे शिक्षक आहेत त्यांना देखील त्या दृष्टीने प्रयत्न करावा लागेल आणि नॅशनल एज्युकेशन पॉलिसीच्या संदर्भात मी सातत्याने मुद्दा मांडला, की आपल्याकडे जशी म्हैसूरला युनिव्हर्सिटी आहे ट्रान्सलेशन्सची, तशी एक स्वतंत्र विद्यापीठ आपल्याला भाषेचं कदाचित महाराष्ट्रामध्ये करावं लागेल, जेणेकरून ट्रान्सलेशन्स हे अधिक चांगल्या प्रमाणामध्ये आपण करू शकू. म्हणून त्या दृष्टीने आपल्याला काही सूचना या शासन स्तरावर देखील आपल्याला कराव्या लागतील. जर त्या पद्धतीने आपल्याला भाषा ही अधिक प्रगत आणि ही अधिक मोठ्या प्रमाणावर वेगवेगळ्या कारणासाठी वापरायची असेल, तर त्याच्याकरता लिटरेचर हे वेगवेगळ्या विषयांमध्ये खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणावर उपलब्ध होणं गरजेचं आहे, हे मला सातत्याने जाणवत आहे. म्हणजे ती साहित्यिकांचीच भाषा होऊन जाते मग. आणि साहित्यिक मराठी म्हणजे तो चांगला साहित्यिक असला पाहिजे, चांगला कवी असला पाहिजे, असतातच ते, आणि खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणावर त्यांचं योगदान असतं. समाजाकडे बघण्याचा त्यांचा दृष्टिकोन एक वेगळ्या प्रकारे निर्माण होतो या सगळ्या साहित्यांमधनं. पण प्रश्न उद्भवतो तो हा, की मग त्याचं डिमार्केशन आणि जे आपण सारखं म्हणतो की कंपार्टमेंटलायझेशन काढायला पाहिजे, ते कंपार्टमेंटलायझेशन आज आपल्याला दिसतं की तुम्हाला इकडे जायचं आहे का, मग इंग्रजी यायला लागेल. असं जे होत आहे, हळूहळू ती दरी कमी व्हावी अशी आपली अपेक्षा आहे. आणि आपण खूप भाषेला महत्त्व द्यायलाच पाहिजे. पण अगदी इंग्रजी येणारा म्हणजेच खूप चांगलं, हुशार आणि बाकीचे थोडेसे असे, असं जे आपलं एक इम्प्रेशन आपणच आपल्याला करून ठेवलेलं आहे, ते घालवायला पाहिजे आपण. आणि त्याच्यामधल्या ज्या क्षमता आहेत त्या ओळखून त्या दृष्टीने प्रयत्न व्हायला पाहिजे. आणि तसं ॲक्च्युली बरेच पावलं आता उचलल्या गेली आहेत आणि त्या दृष्टीने आपण त्याचं स्वागतच करायला पाहिजे, असं मला मनापासून वाटतं. पण अर्थात इंग्रजी पण यायला पाहिजे, म्हणजे त्याच्यामुळे असं नको व्हायला की इंग्रजी दुर्लक्षित व्हावं. आणि तो आपण जे म्हणालात ना, भारताचा तो एक मोठा ॲडव्हान्टेज पण मिळाला. म्हणजे चीन आता स्ट्रगल करतोय की आपल्याला इंग्रजी कसं शिकवता येईल मॅक्सिमम लोकांना. भारताचा त्याला ऑलरेडी ॲडव्हान्टेज मिळाला आणि भारतामुळे, त्या इंग्रजीमुळे भारत हा इतर देशांशी संपर्क सहजतेने साधू शकला. त्यामुळे तो एक नक्कीच फायदा भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्थेला यामुळे झाला, यात काही शंका नाही. पण अर्थात त्याच्यामुळे दुसरा परिणामही असा झाला की आपण अवास्तव महत्त्व एका विशिष्ट भाषेला दिलं आणि त्याचा देखील काही प्रमाणात दुष्परिणाम आपल्याला दिसले. चांगले मुलं जे आहेत, ज्यांच्यामध्ये कपॅसिटीज आहेत पण लँग्वेजमध्ये फारसं करू शकले नाहीत, ते कदाचित काही प्रमाणात मागे राहिले असावे. आणि म्हणून आपल्याला त्या दृष्टीने पण विचार करणं हे गरजेचं आहे, असं मला या नॅशनल एज्युकेशन पॉलिसीच्या संदर्भात वाटतं. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir.
ओके.
Any more questions? Saurav Dikshit. So if there are no questions, we can conclude this cloud meeting. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, my special thanks to our honorable guest, Professor Dr. Vinayak Deshpande sir, for being here, sparing his valuable time and setting the tone of this event through his inaugural address. I hope that the same legacy will be continued by other resource person also. And at the end of the day, at the end of this course, we will take something in our bags, which we will deliver to our colleague, to our students, to the society through this refresher course. And I hope that the aims and objectives which are being set by our respected course coordinator would be fulfilled in the coming days. So not taking much of time, my special thanks to our president of this inaugural session, Professor Praveen Vakte sir, also for sparing his valuable time. So with the permission of the president and the chief guest, I now declare that this inaugural session is over, as already we have conducted the induction meeting well in advance. So there will be a prolonged break today itself. And all of us, we will join at 2:45. सभी लोग, सभी सहभागी मित्र हम 2:45 पर ज्वाइन होंगे, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी हमने इंडक्शन मीटिंग शुक्रवार को ले चुके हैं, तो हम एक ब्रेक दे देंगे यहाँ पर मीटिंग में. थैंक यू, थँक्स अ लॉट.
Thank you.
थँक्यू सर, थँक्यू सो
Thank you,
मच
sir.
भक्तो
Thank
सर.
you.
छान
Thank you,
झालं
sir.
भेट
Thank
झाली
you, sir.
ऑनलाईन का होईना.
Yes.
थँक्यू सो
Yes.
मच. नाईस मीटिंग यू.
Nice meeting you. Thank you. Thank you.